This morning we have a special invitee. She's Marisa Smucker. I should say Marisa Smucker. Marisa comes on behalf of the Mennonite Mission Network. She'll be sharing about this program that's part of the Mennonite Church and the work that they're doing so that we know the important work that is done also outside of this four walls, this circular walls of what is done, what the Mennonite Church is doing outside of this area, and is actively working worldwide. And the Mennonite Mission Network is one of these things that Marissa does. You may have a seat, and Marissa will be with you. Okay. If I stay back there, I'm too far. I'm more like we're gonna share something here. When I speak, you guys hear an accent, right? It's very obvious, right? So I'm gonna start with the testimony about my life, so that you can understand what do I do with the Mission Network. I was born in Costa Rica. Someone else from Costa Rica? No one. Other countries maybe? Venezuela. I know Venezuela. Puerto Rico. I went to Puerto Rico also. I also went to Colombia. Good. Colombia. United States. I live in US. Mexico. I was in Mexico also. United States. Venezuela also. Mexico. United States. United States. Nicaragua. I haven't been there yet, but I hope I will one day. I was born in Costa Rica. Something happened though. I was born to an adolescent woman who had an alcoholic issue, and a neighbor told the officials that they took my sister and I to the orphanage, and that's where I was at. One day, a family named Lynn and Don Smucker came to Costa Rica to do voluntary work. Thank you. He's gonna help me. So I was living there for about 5 months, and while they were there, they wanted to looking and they wanted to adopt a child. Each week they were looking, and each time they went to visit the orphanage, she was only showing them the boys and not the girls. And they had two boys already at that moment, biologically, children, son. Before they left the country, 2 or 3 weeks before they left the country, they went to the orphanage to look for some girls. And finally, they showed them four girls, two in the orphanage and two in a hospital. I was one of the ones in the hospital. In that moment, when I talked to my mom about this experience, the reason why I chose you is because of the connection that we had in our eyes. And that is the reason why I grew up in the US, in my American family. Years later, as an adult, we were talking about this once. And as a child, I always wanted to hear the story from my mom. How did you find me that I have a family now? And this time she told me a different part of the story. When they were in Costa Rica, they were waiting. They were asking God to help them find a girl. My mom had an experience. It was like an angel came to visit. It was a visitor. It was an angel. Was visiting her at night and talked to her. And that angel told her, "I want you to go hang these diapers." She says, I'm not gonna hang any diapers. He goes, "My children are 8 and 5. My neighbors know I don't have a baby." But that's what the angel said. And she was thinking, what do I do? At that moment, with all of this experience, her husband is asleep all this time. She thought, okay, if he makes a movement at this moment, I'm going to tell him what I'm going to happen. If not, I'm going to forget it. I'm not going to see anything. At that moment, her husband turned. Okay, how to say it? What the angel told me. It was at this moment, the following days, when they found me. And I say this story because sometimes that we don't think that could happen can happen. At that moment, when she told me this, I was like, wow, what did God have for me in story in life? That my mom had a life and an experience like this in her life. And that's also part of me. And I thought about the Bible verse of Psalms 139, where God says that He knows us, from the womb. It's something incredible. And I share this because this means for me. This tells me why I do the ministry. I know that my life is because God is guiding me. Not only me, but my family as well. And sometimes I don't understand how things happen, but God does know. After, when I went to college, when I was at the university, I, I spent time, in ministry. In one moment, I had the opportunity to go to Costa Rica, and I was there for a few years, and to be the experience to know my country, the culture, how to learn Spanish better. But at least now I can share. One day, I had an experience. I was in my apartment, getting ready to go to work, and I heard a voice. And the words were, "It is time." That's it. It is time. But my spirit, my heart, I knew it was time to go back to the U.S. But you know what? I wasn't ready. I was very happy in Costa Rica. The mountains, culture, people, my work. I didn't want to go out. But I told God, I know God who's calling me. Give me at least a year so I can fix my heart. And God gave me the opportunity. During this time, a friend of mine gave me a job that's in the U.S. And I thought, if we'll see if they want me to come up with him. But I thought it wasn't a year yet. I'm gonna apply just in case. I applied for this post, and in the process, I thought, wow, I think I want to work in this agency. Continued trying. Yes, I want to go. What if we can do this work together? And finally, they told me, well, Marisa, we're seeing two people, you and someone else. At this moment, we're going to give the job to someone else, but you know what? We're going to wait for you 6 more months. And you can come in 6 months. Had any of you had an experience? A job says, let's wait for you 6 months? It's very strange, isn't it? I had God's promise before then. I had a year to prepare my heart. In 1 year, I was ready to go back to the U.S. and start my job with the Mission Network. This was in 2015. And now I've been here in this job. And I love this job. And I know this is where I need to be. Well, I started in this organization in a position. I started in this position where I would go visit churches, speak to pastors, tell the people, show what we do. It was very simple, but I really enjoy this type of work. I love being around people and to share. Tells the story in our testimonies. So after 5, 6 years, something happened, and the leadership is changing. And some of my coworkers, they say, Marisa, why don't you get this job? No, 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 no. I'm not a leader. I want to continue doing what I'm doing. After a few months, other people, fine, fine, I'll go. I'll apply for this position. And I went to the interview, and this is how I am. If they don't want that, that's fine for me. And anyways, I like what I'm doing right now. So at the end, they said, yes, this position is for you. Oh, okay. Okay. I said, okay. But you know what? At this moment, I learned something. In this process, God was changing my heart. He was changing my desires. He was preparing me to be a leader for this job post. So during this time, I was leading the department where we create all the programs from the agency. I liked it. Something happened again with the leadership. What's happening here? Then at this moment, el- the board of directors has asked me, can you be the interim? Can you be the interim director of the agency? I said, no. Whoa, what scare, huh? Okay. said, okay, okay, because just because I know, just because I like my coworkers, and that is necessary to have stability for them for this moment. I said, yes, I'll do it. I did this for about 11 months. At the end, the board of directors asked me what to stay permanently in this position. And you know what? And I said, I was thinking, I'm ready now. Why? Because God was speaking to my life. He was guiding me, was changing my desires, was telling me, Marissa, at this moment, the agency needs someone like you. It is difficult sometimes to see yourself in a position like this. In a church here in the US, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of white people. You don't see a lot of people that look like me, that are men. There's not a lot of female leaders. But I knew at this moment, during this time, because I love the church. I love the people. I love God. And this was the moment. And I say all of this, a part of my testimony, because sometimes we think that we're not ready. No, God. No, God, I don't understand. No, I don't know how to do it. I don't have the skills to do this. But you know what? God has plans for each one of us. God will place in front of you everything that you need, the people, the resources, the desires inside of you will change. So I wanted to start with this part of the testimony so you can understand how I arrived here and why I think this is where I have to be in this moment. For me, this work with the network is very important. It is very important to be a leader in the church. It is important that I can speak of the importance of service and missions and what we can do together as a church. So, I don't know. Can we show the PowerPoint? So right now I'm going to speak a little bit about the Mennonite Mission Network. I know Saulo does. Me too. The rest of you don't. What is this agency, right? So I'm going to tell you. The Mission Mennonite Network is the mission agency for this denomination, which you form part of it. College Mennonite is part of MCUSA. We're the agency, with the agency's mission department for the church, and this is how we work. So in this title, that's what we say, we're here for a purpose. And I've said this as part of my story because we're here, a little bit of us who's similar to this. Let's continue to the next one. The Mennonite Mission Network is there to guide, mobilize, and support the church to participate in a testimony in an integral testimony of Jesus Christ in a torn or in a broken world. There's a lot of problems in the world. There's a lot of things that happen that's sad. There's violence, but there's also a lot of beautiful things. This is our job because we are teaching. We're showing the world that we have a power that is stronger than our own strength, which is the strength of God, the testimony of Jesus Christ. Our job, our job is to help individuals and also churches and conferences of MCUSA, which is the denomination, to do mission work throughout the world. The next one. The next one. So, the denomination talks or says that Jesus is the center of our faith. Yes? The community, like right now, is the center of our lives. The reconciliation is the center of our job. It's the same for us. Just like the denomination, also for the Mennonite Mission Network. The next one. Our objective, we are looking partners in other parts of the world and also nationally. We work in all the U.S. in various programs, but also for international programs. So the Mennonite Network looks in other congregations, and we invite them to get involved in a form of reconciliation with God. So there's a lot of programs here in the church of the world. In the States. Also, we're looking for people, and also, we work on missions here in the U.S. and also worldwide, and we're currently looking for people to work as well. So the congregations, the conferences, and other churches that are not part of MCUSA, but want to be part of our work, and and prayer partners, and also donors. But all of these people are part of our community. That means that to be a missioner doesn't mean that you have to go somewhere else. You can do it here in your own community. You can do it just by sharing with us, getting together with us, and pray for the people that are in other parts of the world. I brought some other material that I'm going to place up here on the table so you can read more about our programs, because we also have programs for the youth, for adults, our families, in all parts. And I'm going to put here later on. The next slide. At this moment, we have global partners in 26 states and 45 countries in the world. In this space, sometimes the job or the ministry is with agencies, sometimes it's with people that want to go to these places. For example, one of the places is in South Africa. At this moment, we don't have missionaries there, but we have partners over there that we have been working with them for many years. And we continue this relationship with them. Sometimes we take groups, so we know. Sometimes we send resources, and sometimes From time to time, when we have a calling, we have a connection, we also send people. This is just an example of what we do, of what we do in other states and in different countries. Next one. Now, these are examples of some of the programs that we have that you can be a part of. This church, College Mennonite, has participated in on this Just Peace pilgrimage. Did you hear that? Yeah. It was a little bit complicated. This was a trip where people learn what's happening with immigration, what's going on with indigenous communities, also with civil rights. This is not just a trip, but this is to learn, really see what is it that we do differently in my community. This is about the learning and transformation. Ages from 16 and up can go, can join. This doesn't mean it's just for adults or just for youth. We also have this Mennonite voluntary services. This is for someone who's in their 20s. They want to do 1 year of service here in the U.S. And service adventure is the same way. And soup is an experience that you may want to do, spend a few days or weeks of service in some places. And there's places here in this community. You don't have to travel. You can do it here in this community in Goshen or Elkhart and help other agencies that need volunteers. The next one. How do we work? We listen and we find ourselves with people where they're at. We meet people where they're at, through their missions into routes. Their context matter. Their focus guide us to do actions. Now, this is very important because when we sometimes have something very important with people, we want to share with people, especially a testimony, God's life, how Jesus is using us in this life and how God is working. And sometimes He could be very strong for some people, but we just want to do the testimony. That means we just want to tell people, but we don't listen. We really don't share. And we're not working together. When one of them should be doing the action, the other one's receiving. In this type of missions, we are trying to work together, that we're both sharing. I'm not the only one who has resources. A lot of times, sometimes the partners whom are working also have resources. They also have something to tell us and to teach us. So our type of mission is to walk together, working together, sharing and learning from each other. Next slide, and then another one. How we also work. We also look for associations around near the house and worldwide to participate in God's Word. We believe in this. We create these associations or these partnerships when it is invited us to do it. And I wanted to read this because it's also important for us. A lot of times, Like my story, my testimony, my story. Sometimes God calls us, and we also continue with this instruction, and we go wherever God calls us. But sometimes people are not ready, or maybe they think they're like, oh, I want to go there and see what they have to do. That's why we have to, at times, wait for an invitation. That we're in communication with people, in a relationship with people, before they arrive, and that they're also listening to God, and that they're also have this calling. This part that I've been telling you before, why we do it together, not just a direction, someone who's just doing the action, but we're also waiting for the invitation of others. So we're ready for others. Yes, we want this connection. Yes, we have the calling, and we start with connections and this job of ministry together. This is just a little bit of what we do in the Mennonite Mission Network. In the morning, I shared with them a story about a job we have in Argentina. And I share this job because of Argentina for two reasons. This is just an example where our missionaries, they're not from here, but they're missionaries from their own country in Argentina. This is important, at least here in the U.S. It's countries that are important where we can be missionaries, but people in their own country can be missionaries. Like I said before, you don't have to travel to be a missionary. That's why I use this example. The second reason is because the community where they're working with the indigenous people of this place. Here in the U.S., how we treat the indigenous people. Well, not the greatest, huh? Sometimes they don't have the same rights. Sometimes they don't treat them right. So this is just an example where this family, this mission family, was changing the lives of the indigenous people in the community. We are learning from this job. This is an example that I'm going to read in a moment. This is an example of how we're learning and how they're teaching us how to be missionaries. How to be missionaries in their own home. Can you help me, please? I put everything in English, and then I have time to do it in Spanish.
Today bueno, espere. Entonces, voy a compartir sobre de la obra que Dios está haciendo en Argentina y está guiado por nuestro director de Latinoamérica, el señor se llama Juan Pacheco Lozano. ¿Alguien conoce a Juan? ¿Ya? Ok. Ahora en inglés. One of the most meaningful experiences of our work in Argentina has been the ongoing accompaniment of the Oyenguren family with the indigenous churches in the Chaco region.
Una de las experiencias más significativas en nuestro trabajo en Argentina ha sido el acompañamiento continuo de la familia Oyaguren con las iglesias indígenas en la región del Chaco.
In preparing visits and gathering spaces, The importance of the ministry they carry out alongside indigenous communities has become evident, as has the deep connection between the Argentine churches and Mennonite Mission Network.
Al preparar las visitas y reunir los espacios, la importancia del ministerio que se lleva a cabo junto con las comunidades indígenas ha sido evidente, al igual que la conexión profunda entre las iglesias argentinas y la red menonita de misión.
This work is part of a relationship of more than a century between Mission Network and the Iglesia Evangélica Menonita Argentina.
Este trabajo es parte de la relación de más de un siglo entre la red de misión y la Iglesia Evangélica Menonita en Argentina.
Qué largo tiempo, ¿no? Woo. Today, this legacy continues through local leadership training, ministry with young people, and mission among indigenous communities in the Chaco.
Hoy ese legado continúa a través del liderazgo o del entrenamiento del liderazgo local y el ministerio con los jóvenes y la misión junto a las comunidades indígenas en el Chaco.
The Oyunguren family represents a living expression of this history of collaboration and commitment to the gospel.
La familia Oyanguren representa la expresión viva de esta historia de la colaboración y el compromiso al Evangelio.
An essential part of this ministry has been translating the Bible into the Tobacom language through audio files.
Una parte esencial de este ministerio ha sido traducir la Biblia al idioma Tobacom a través de archivos de audio.
Since this language is primarily transmitted orally and does not have a widely established written alphabet, the work is both a technical challenge and a pastoral opportunity.
Ya que el idioma es primordialmente transmitido oralmente y no tiene establecido un alfabeto escrito, el trabajo es un desafío técnico y también una oportunidad pastoral.
Making the Word of God accessible in the heart language of indigenous communities, a concrete expression of respect, accompaniment, and service.
El hacer que la palabra de Dios sea accesible en el idioma nativo de las comunidades indígenas es una expresión concreta de respeto, de acompañamiento y servicio.
Ellos también tienen un centro de aprendizaje para la comunidad, para entrenamientos y también una estación de radio. Y entonces yo voy a leer esta parte. Another significant initiative has been the creation of a radio station that reaches various parts of the country and makes it possible to share locally produced content.
Otra iniciativa significante ha sido la creación de una difusora de radio que alcanza varias partes del país y hace posible el poder compartir localmente el contenido que se produce.
The radio station not only expands the reach of the ministry, but also affirms the importance of oral communication, cultural identity, and the participation of the communities themselves in creating their own messages.
La difusora no solo expande el alcance del ministerio, pero también afirma la importancia de la comunicación oral, la identidad cultural y la participación de las comunidades en crear sus propios mensajes.
Gracias. Yo comparto esta historia, este ejemplo que estamos haciendo.
I share this story or this example in other parts of the world because for me it's an example how people can do very easy things to help their neighbors. Indigenous communities that maybe are needed with the young people. Maybe it could be like a radio station. This would touch a lot of lives in which they can be part of this ministry, just like us. We can look for different areas around us. We don't have to travel far, but we can work together doing local services here in this community. I'm going to put some of the resources here. Everything's in Spanish. I brought all of the information. I hope that we can start to learn who we are, because we are your agency of missions as well. Thank you.